Hiya. So I'm at the warehouse here, and I want to go through all of this loot and sort it out and put what I want into piles across here and throw stuff that I want to keep for later over here. Now that's going to take forever. If I just use my in-game settings of one day being 2 hours, it would probably take several in-game days. So the most logical thing to do would be to come in here, go to sandbox settings, and then change the sandbox settings in here to modify the time of day. Except there is no setting in here for time of day. They have everything else in here except for the time of day. But there is a solution. So let's back out of here. We'll close the game because for some reason in debug mode, quitting to menu acts strange. We'll reload in a normal mode. Then we'll go to solo or whichever one you want. We'll go to custom. We'll act like we're playing a new game here. Okay. And then we will load the settings that we used to establish our last game, to play our last game. And then we will choose real time for 24 hours. But then we will save the file as 24. So now we have a preset where the settings from the original one and the settings for the new one are exactly the same, except for this one says 24. Now we'll back out of all of this and we'll quit the game. Reload under debug mode. Then we will load the game that we want to change here, which is that one. We go into the game, and remember, it's always a good idea to back up your save game whenever you're going to make changes like this. Let's just run the game forward just so I can see stuff. You go back to the debug menu, back to the sandbox settings, and now you can go into the presets and apply a new preset. There we go. This should now run on 24-hour mode. Okay, we'll apply the changes. We'll close. Yeah, it seemed to have some script errors here, but forget about that for now. Then we'll exit the game. And I would like to verify, so I'm going to use this hex editor. You can use any hex editor. You don't need to do this, by the way. I'm just doing this to look for myself. We'll load the Project Zomboid save, which is this one right here. And we'll go down to map_stand.bin. And that's where all of your settings are. Open. Okay, and then the length of day will be down here. The day length is right here, okay? So after all the zombie settings, you'll have the day length equal 27. I don't really know why it's 27. It seems to scale for some reason. So if it's set to 2 hours, like 2 hours in a day, it'll actually say 3. But then when you go to 25, it says 27. I don't know why. You can also change other things here. Don't edit your hex file. Don't edit your bin file directly, because most of the time this will be a 1-digit number. And if it's a 1-digit number and you put 2 digits in here, you'll actually override this space, and that will mess up your save. You would have to insert a new binary position, and then a new hex position, and then edit the new position in. Alternatively, if you don't want to go through the game UI, you can just start a new game with the settings that you want on it, and then just copy this file name from one saved directory into the other. It'll work the same way. You don't have to do that though. Just use the UI. You're allowing the game to do everything for you. It looks like there was a couple errors when it did it. So again, use at your own risk. The game is like early access, so you're going to have problems. In my personal opinion, making a new save file then copying this file over is the best way to preserve your the integrity of your save file, because only this file will be overwritten, whereas the UI in game might do other things that you don't know that they're doing in the background. But you do need to know what you're doing if you copy the file over. And if you're more advanced than that, then you can play with the .bin file, or you can write all us little people a script to use, a little program to use that'll do this all for us. Please, please, bye.